The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week on this show you'll find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. And today we have with us Paula Ambre, who's the Executive Director of the Maui Farm, and Dean Wong, who's the Executive Director of Imua Family Services. We're going to be talking, I can't believe it, I'm going to get my exercise today. We're going to be talking about a running race and a paddling event, water sports. So whether it's hitting the road or hitting the water, here we go. Paula, let's start off with you. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Susie. I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
And pleased to be back. It's been a while since I've been on the show.
It has been, yes. And you're just going through the budget finales.
We are definitely monitoring what's happening over at County Council, and it is an important time. I encourage our community to watch what's happening. Your next year's budget and priorities are being set, so we as nonprofit organizations who rely upon the county for at least a portion of our funding that allows us to leverage other funding and bring more dollars into our work, it's a very important time. So yes, we're taking a few minutes away from monitoring council deliberations to be here today.
And I think I'm very happy to be here instead of there for a few minutes. It's going to go down to the wire, I think, because there's a lot of decisions yet to be made.
This is a tough year.
And as I left my office, there was chatter about some things that they had said yesterday they were okay with, that they had consensus on. Today they're saying they want to bring it back up. So it's changing minute by minute.
There you go.
Okay, so let's talk about what you've got on store.
Well, the Maui Farm wanted to be on the show here this week to talk about a great opportunity. And, Susie, I think I've talked before about the importance to nonprofit organizations of community-sponsored fundraising events. As a nonprofit organization, we rely upon our community to support our work and really look to find people who share a passion for our mission. And at the Maui Farm, our core program is our family strengthening program that's working with families who are displaced due to domestic violence and other economic challenges. And so we work with a lot of single moms and their children to assist them in making a successful transition to self-sufficient living. And I'm happy to report that because we're primarily a woman's organization, we caught the eye of Valley Isle Roadrunners this year. And for 38 years now, Valley Isle Roadrunners has been doing the Naholo Wahine race. And I'm so pleased to introduce to you today Mr. Jim Lynch, who is with Valley Isle Roadrunners and has graciously joined us today to talk story with us about the Naholo Wahine race.
Hi, Jim. Welcome.
Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And we appreciate supporting the Maui Farm. I think this is a really good relationship that we're building, Paula. And, it's... I'll kind of give you a little bit of background on how we got involved with the Maui Farm. I'm a board member. I'm the vice president of Valley Isle Roadrunners. And my wife, at the time, she was working for one of your board members, yes. Paula. And Gloria mentioned to me, you should check out the Maui Farm. And I said, well, what's it all about? And so she gave me a little bit of information, and I said, well, we do this annual fundraiser. It's a race. It's a 5K and a 1 mile walk called the Naholo Wahine. And I said, we're looking to, possibly go a different direction and find more women organizations that we can support, since it's an all women's race that we're putting on. And so I contacted Paula. Gloria introduced us, probably I think through email or something like that.
So.
Right. And so we started corresponding a little bit, and I was telling her a little bit about it. And so the president of Valley Isle Roadrunners, John Emerson, and Arlene Emerson, who's also a board member, and myself went and visited the Maui farm. And it was an amazing experience coming up into the Makua area and seeing what has been put together up there, and how peaceful and serene it is, but how powerful their organization is, taking the families and providing housing for them. And we got to tour the facilities there, and we saw where they show them how to grow food, and we saw a lot of the animals. I saw one of the biggest pigs I've ever seen in my entire life at the Maui farm. Man, that thing was big.
Grow them healthy.
You do grow them healthy, and little rabbits and other items, and this is all being taught to these folks that are living up there, who otherwise could be homeless or in really bad situations, and they're taking them and teaching them that, and plus the barn that you have where you're teaching the skills for the kike and the women, life skills. Work skills, so when they are ready to go out into the world again and have recovered from whatever horrible things that they've gone through, that they can be functioning members of the society. And
I'm going to hire you, Jim. That was a great description.
Well,
we should have taped that. Oh, wait a minute, we did.
You did tape that.
Yeah, it's on the radio. Here we go.
So to kind of loop back, and when we walked out of there, we just, John and Arlene and myself, go, wow, this is really something. But we already were going to support them for our race, all the proceeds from our event. And what the event is, it's on Saturday, May 6th. It's at Keapolani Park, and it's a 5K all-women's run, and it's also a 1-mile walk for people that would like to walk. And it starts at 8 o'clock, and it's a figure 8 course. It goes through the park, outside of the park. I won't explain the whole course to you, but and then it finishes, right in the park. And then afterwards, we have an awards ceremony. We have a lot of great sponsors this year that have provided us so much stuff. We've got dinners to restaurants at the Fairmont Keilani. We have dinners over at the Four Seasons. Manoli's has provided us certificates for their restaurant. Maui Pasta Company. Who else we got in there?
How about a big shout out to Nalu's?
Well, yeah, I'm getting it. Oh, okay. Eskimo Candy over in Kihei. They provided us 2 nice certificates. But Nalu's, Ron Panzo over there, the owner, he's such a phenomenal community supporter, and he is going to provide the food for the runners after the event. It's a lighter food because runners like fruit and salads and bagels and stuff like that. Starbucks is providing the coffee. So we do an awards ceremony. The Maui Farm, Paula, and some of the board members will have an information booth there, so all of our participants can get a better understanding of what the Maui Farm is all about, and a lot of information there. We provide awards to the runners, first, second, third place awards. We have an organization that comes out there and runs. It's called Ainsley's Angels, and they're handicapped folks, and we have pushers that push them in the chairs. Wonderful. Which is really a heartwarming little thing, and they just like to be involved, and we got awards for them too. And it's a fun couple hours, healthy couple hours, and we really would, and the prices are right. I mean, $25 for the run, which is really, for what you're getting, you're going to get a shirt, you're going to get the food, you're going to have all the fun at the awards, you're going to have a fun aid station that they come through, they're going to have music and hand out water and all kinds of stuff over there. And so you get all that for your $25, and just remember that most of the stuff is donated, so the proceeds will go from Valley Isle Roadrunners to the Maui Farm. So we're really excited to be partners with you this year, Paula.
Well, and thank you so much. we can't do our work without the support of community organizations. And it's always been kind of interesting to me. Sometimes the way things work, people find us, and that's how I felt about Valley Isle Roadrunners. And yet I believe that we're kind of beginning a longer-term partnership here where we can continue to support the good work. We're all about good health and wellness. And,
Exactly.
we like to teach it through healthy activities and an educational farm. Those folks like to offer it by sponsoring, great events like this and encouraging physical activity. I think one of the things I got excited about with this race, and I would encourage, the mother-daughter teams is one of the categories. So, come on, girls, get your mom, come on out, do the 1 mile. Is that 5K and 1 mile walk? Both would be mother-daughter teams?
Yeah, they can do that, but the awards are for the 5K. The 1 mile walk we don't do awards for, but the 5K, they do have. We have a mother-daughter division, and they can certainly place and get an award.
What's the youngest age that you would have it in a mother-daughter race?
I've seen them out there, as young as 8 to 10 years old.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And they're not really. They're just walking and running,
Yeah.
but they're still involved, and they get to do the whole course together.
And they're
it's
doing
really,
it with mom. That's
That's
great.
it, and that's such a great thing when you can do things as a family activity. So we absolutely support this, and just are really happy to be a part of a great event that encourages our community to come together in a positive way. So we want to thank Valley Isle Roadrunners for your great support for us.
Absolutely. And one thing I'd like to add, if anybody's listening and wants to get involved out there, it's very easy. You just go to VIRR.com and you can register for the event. If you happen to be a VIRR member, then you get a discount off of that too. But VIRR.com, you can sign up for it. You can sign up the day before at Request Music, right around the corner here.
In
up
Wailuku.
Market Street.
Right. And they pick up their race number and their, if we have any goodies or anything like that, I think their shirt and all that they get there. And you can also sign up and register the day of the event, which starts at 8 a.m. So if you're registering and you're coming out the day of the event, it is $5 more if you're going to wait till the last minute, which I'm a procrastinator and I do that myself. But you can do that right at the park.
How early is somebody there, just in case?
Well, volunteers, we will get there. We'll pick up the stuff and we'll have everything set up 5:30, 6 o'clock, even though a race starts at 8 o'clock. And registration will probably be, somebody will be there probably about 6:45, right
Gotcha.
around there. And Paula and other volunteers from the Maui farm are going to be doing the registration. So, you'll get a chance to meet them while you're out at the park.
An early Saturday morning for Paula.
How about that? Coming all the way down the mountain. But I'm so excited, too, because we are involving board members. You'll have an opportunity to meet with some of our great board, and our staff team will be participating, and we'll have a few of our families that will join us as well. So it's really a great opportunity for a fun Saturday morning, and I always love it when you're all done by 10 o'clock in the morning. It's all done. You feel like you've had a full day. But it's going to be just a wonderful event. So we want to encourage people to come down and support the Maui Farm, support Valley Isle Roadrunners, and be a part of encouraging healthy activities by just modeling that and being a part of a big day and the run and having a great time at the park.
Right.
Unfortunately, our winner from last year, she's not going to be on the island this year, so she cannot defend her title.
Oh.
I know.
Wide open then, huh?
It's wide open. So
Come on, girls.
Yeah. Oh, one sponsor I forgot to mention was the Kitchen and Tap in Wailea. They're providing us some certificates for dinners there too.
Super,
great.
super.
Yeah.
Now, do you get a lot of repeat runners for this
Oh
event?
yeah. You get the usual suspects that are out there. Probably just with any organization, you see the same group of runners, which is really good because they keep the fire alive out there. And then we see new folks come in, and we see folks that we've never seen before. We're winding down on the high tourist season out here on Maui now, and but there are visitors that like to come out and they see if there's any type of events that they can get a local feel for and be involved with. So we'll see some people that are out here on vacation too. So it's a whole gambit of people that come out for the run.
Right. What you mentioned earlier about if you are a VIRR member.
Yes.
What's membership all about? We got to take a break. I'm getting the high sign. We'll ask that question when we come back.
Okay.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with some of our executive directors to find out what they're doing to help those with needs in our community. Today we're talking about how we raise money to help us in that endeavor. And the first half of the show, we've been talking with Paula Ombre of the Maui Farm and Jim Lynch of the Valley Isle Roadrunners, who have joined forces for a fundraiser. And we were just talking during the break about what a great idea, the 5K run. And he says, it's easy. It's just 3.1 miles. Hello, I don't know about those of you out there, but 3.1 miles, it might as well be 2,500 miles.
But there's that
For
one.
me.
There's that 1 mile walk.
Oh, that's true.
We could do that, Susie.
Could we do that?
We probably could.
Yeah, but I don't know if we'd be done in 2 hours.
Okay, next year.
Next year, okay.
Next year.
Well, Jim, before the break, I was just asking you about membership in Valley Isle Roadrunners and what that entails and what the benefits and what else they get involved in.
Well, thank you for asking that. By the way, the 3 miles are easy. It's that point one that gets you every time.
I got you. It's that last point
That's
one.
that last point one. Valley Isle Roadrunners, we're a nonprofit organization also, and we've been around since 1970. One of the longest running clubs in Hawaii right now, and we put on races that people may not know of. We do the Yale Valley 10K. We do the Hana Relay every year. We have a Christmas run, a Thanksgiving run. We used to do Run to the Sun and Harbor to Harbor. Those we don't have the manpower right now to put on all those races. And we own the Maui Marathon, and we put that on now too. So we have we're pretty involved in a lot of that, and so becoming a member, it's $25 a year, and you get discounts to a lot of the races that we have. The Christmas run and the Turkey Trot at Thanksgiving are all free runs. There's also the Poli Poli 10-mile run on July 4th. That's a free run for Valley Isle Roadrunner members too. And the Maui Marathon, you get a discount. And if you volunteer at any one of our races, and you get on the list, and you're a Valley Isle Roadrunners member, we have an annual appreciation dinner too that we do. So for $25, not a bad deal. Again, you can go on VIRR.com and become a member too.
Cool. Very good. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So, Paula, now that you're raising this extra money from this race, it's going right straight into your programs.
Program operations, yes. Our core program at the Maui Farm is our Family Strengthening Program. And at the farm, we provide family-centered programs based in an educational farm environment. And we work with families who are displaced or homeless due to domestic violence and economic challenges. We provide transitional housing, life skills training, and an array of supports that help them to put together their plan to leave family violence behind and to move forward as responsible and contributing members of their community, living self-sufficiently, and implementing their own plan for self-sufficiency for themselves and their children. So this is a really important program, and we work with somewhere between 12 and 16 families each year. We're helping somewhere between 30 and 50 children to not be homeless during this transitional moment for their family. And so it's a very important service that we offer. And we want to thank, as we talked earlier about Maui County and its budget deliberations, the county has been a generous supporter of our family strengthening program for many, many years. It's our core funding. We also have a supplemental grant from Maui United Way that we use for our family strengthening program. But we also fundraise approximately $40,000 to $50,000 every year to supplement this program. And so the wonderful opportunity provided to us through Valley Isle Roadrunners to benefit from the now Holo Wahine Run helps us to make sure that we're there to deliver the important services. And so those dollars could go towards salaries. They might go towards updating furnishings in a transitional home. They might go towards buying some supplies for our educational keiki program. So we will use those dollars where we need them most, and that's really one of the most important parts about unrestricted donations. And so as a community, we're really grateful for the support offered to us by so many organizations, and most recently Valley Isle Roadrunners.
That's great. That's great. We know how important that is. Now, how do the families do they find you or do you find them when they're in need?
It's oftentimes they find us through our partnership with other organizations that work with homelessness. Most of our families come to us having experienced a stay in the emergency shelter provided by Women Helping Women, our domestic violence agency here on the island, but we also work real closely with MEO and Family Life Center and Catholic Charities and Kahale Akeola in terms of working specifically with families exiting domestic violence. And so generally our referrals come to us through one of those partner agencies.
Now, do all the people that you work with during the year live in your homes, or some I guess they would be outpatients versus inpatients?
No, everyone lives with us. In terms of our residential program, these are families that are living in housing that's located on the Maui Farms campus. But you know, Susie, about 6 years ago, we started offering our educational farm environment to the members of our community, not just people who live with us. And we call that our farm-based educational programs for the community. So we are kind of a hotspot right now for field trips for younger students. We're having, most recently, who have we had? Kula Kinders are coming, Tutu and Me traveling preschool, Kamehameha School, early childhood programs. So we're a great place for students to come, and we encourage teachers and parents to think about the Maui Farm when you're doing a field trip, because not only can the students experience where their food is grown, but we also have farm animals, and so that's usually kind of the highlight of the day, is to see baby pigs or baby goats or get to hold a bunny.
Or the biggest pig he's seen in his life.
That's right.
As Jim commented.
That's generally a big hit. So, so our farm-based educational programs, we want to get people up to experience what an educational farm is about, to help kids understand where their food comes from, and to help people to get excited about growing their own healthy food and being good stewards of our INA, our limited resources of our INA. So, in addition to field trips, we do farm tours. Last Saturday of every month, we do a farm tour from 9 to 11.
That's coming up this week.
Actually, it is this week, Saturday, April the 29th. So if you would be interested in coming up for a leisurely tour of the Maui Farm, it's from 9 to 11 on Saturday, April 29th. And in May, we're actually going to be doing 2 farm tours. The usual last Saturday of the month, which I believe is May 27th, but also on May 20th, the local publication, Edible Hawaiian Islands Magazine, has their annual farm day, and they're encouraging people to get out and go to a farmer's market or visit a farm. So we'll be open on Saturday, May 21st from 9 to 11, and we basically just ask our community to call our office or email us and let us know that you'd like to attend. We'll get back in touch and confirm and let you know what to bring along with you and how to dress for a leisurely stroll on a farm, and come prepared for the day. But it's really a wonderful opportunity. So on these farm tours, we'd like to encourage families to come, because it's a great way to go up country and maybe experience a little different part of Maui than where you live.
There you go. Now, you want reservations?
Absolutely.
And they call or email?
They can call our office at 579-8271, and they can email us at info@themauifarm.org.
Can't get any clearer than that. themauifarm.org. Thank you so much for joining us, Jim. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work. Keep everybody in shape with their walking and running.
I wanted to mention one other thing about Valley Iowa Roadrunners. Being a nonprofit, we do support the annual series of cross-country for youth out here. And then we also provide scholarships on behalf of Billy Connor, who was a runner on the island and passed away a few years ago. And we do 2 or 3 scholarships a year, and that's where some of our funds go besides providing
that's
proceeds.
Great.
Yeah.
Very good.
Another great reason to check out their website,
Exactly. VIRR.com. Gotcha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jim. Paula, thank you.
Thank you, Susie. I look forward to seeing you next time.
You got it.
But before then, I'll see you on May 6th at the race. I think you can do one, Kenny.
The hard part is getting me down the hill on a Saturday morning. Well, if I got down the hill, I'd do it, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Thanks again for having us today.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
You too. Aloha, guys. Okay, second half of the show coming up. We've got Dean Wong and Imua Family Services, and they've got you've got your big Paddle Imua coming up. And I remember when this started.
Paddle Imua, yes. This is the 6th year for Paddle Imua. It's pretty amazing. I can't even believe that's happened.
And it was one of those things where it sounded like a good idea, but would everybody jump on it?
Yeah, well, we kind of had an intuition about it. I was working at the time and with Kaimana Brumel, who I accredit as being one of the great idea makers behind this event. When I first went to her and we discussed doing an ocean paddle event to help raise money for Imua Family Services Camp Imua program. And, we really had the intuition at the time that stand-up paddling was really the sport that was taking off, but that there weren't a lot of events surrounding stand-up paddling. And since then, of course, we know stand-up paddling is a huge ocean water sport, and it's really taken off. But we really created a fun day race that incorporates all of the different water disciplines, and not just stand-up paddling, but also OC1, OC2, six-man canoe, and now this year we've added hydrofoil to the event as well. And so we're open to all of the mixed watercraft events. And
are there enough hydrofoils out there?
We should introduce.
Really?
We have Paige Alms in the studio, which everyone just went, Paige Alms, because of course she's the world's most renowned female water athlete that exists, and we're so happy that she lives and resides here with us on Maui. But Paige, what's your view on the hydrofoil? Have you tried it? Do you love it?
Oh, I haven't tried it yet. I have multiple friends that are really into it and have been trying to get me to be a part of it. And last night I was finally talking with my boyfriend, and I'm like, okay, it's time to get one. We got to make some boards and get out there. So in the next couple weeks, that's my goal.
So do you think we'll see some hydrofoils at Paddle Imua this year?
Oh, for sure.
I think
definitely.
so too. Yeah.
I might be on one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And last year we had added some sail boards as well, and that was exciting too, to see people out there with some sails and stuff like that. So it's really all of the water sportsmen coming together.
When you started on the list, you said OC1 and OC2. What does that refer to for us non-water people?
Sure. In the one paddler in what do you call the single outrigger, single outrigger versus two-man outriggers. And then of course we typically, everyone knows the six-man here, which is from the canoe clubs. But we do have six-man crews as well.
So OC stands for outrigger canoe.
Yes.
One outrigger canoe, 2 seats.
Sorry.
Gotcha. Okay, see, I learned a lot today. How about that? Paige, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
I just, I was checking out the website for Paddle Imua, and you had a trailer on there. It took you to a trailer of a film that you've put together.
Yeah, I had a documentary made about me that premiered 2 summers ago at the Maui Film Festival. It was called The Wave I Ride. It's available on iTunes now. And basically it's just a story and kind of shares my story with the world on the challenges of being a woman in a male-dominated sport. And yeah, it's awesome. You should check it out. It has a nice feel to it. It's good for everybody.
Whatever prompted you to go big wave?
I don't know. I think just growing up on Maui, you grow up looking up to all these big wave surfers, and it kind of just becomes something that you do. It's something I dreamt about as a little kid, and when the opportunity arose, it was hard to say no to. And I'm not looking back.
and it's like I don't want to compare it to a drug, but there's an adrenaline rush that once you experience that, not that I have, but once you do experience that, you want to go back for more, and you want to feel that again, and the power that comes with that, I think.
So doing this now, this is the 6th year, you said. Have you been out there on a board?
Well, because
come on,
not at our event. And here's, because when you're the executive director and you're involved in running and coordinating the event, I don't have time to be out on the water, unfortunately. Right. Would I love to? Absolutely. But I'm involved a lot in the beginning of the race at Maliko Gulch. Right. The race starts at Maliko Gulch.
And now you're getting off the subject. Have you been on the boards?
Oh, I have, absolutely. Do I stand up paddle is what you're trying to ask me. I love to stand up paddle, and I like to longboard. Well, I thought you were asking me if I participated in the race.
No. I know you're a Wonder Man, but it's, hello.
I'm not a big wave surfer like Paige, or even, I'm difficult on the small waves, but I definitely love a good old-fashioned longboard.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because I know you do a lot of sports stuff.
I do.
And, there's got to be something else behind it. You just don't admire it. You can only admire so much, and then you got to try it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's also, the connection as to why Paddling Mua became such a great fit for Campi Mua being the program. Is it really, like Paige just said, when you grow up on Maui, you grow up admiring all these big wave surfers, and Campi Mua is known for its children with special needs who are coming to camp, and they see the big wave surfers, they see the ocean athletes out there, and it's often not something they ever get to do, experience, or try. A child with special needs gets to see someone like Paige Alms and thinks, wow, that's really incredible, but they know it's not a sport or an event that they're actually ever typically going to be able to participate in. And in the same way, for the athlete like Paige or Connor Baxter or Dave Kalam or something like that, to have the opportunity to meet some of Maui's special needs children and get them into the water and float around with them and show them a little bit what that world is like for them. It's an amazing combination of energies that come together and share different worlds with each other. And that is what has been making this race so special year after year.
Right. Be on the same beach, to be... and I think at the end of the race they can go out like on a canoe.
Yeah, we take some vessels out and some of the blow-up stand-up paddle boards, inflatable boards from SIC and different longboards, and the kids can get in the water. We do a relay with different sponsors that get in the water, and we get the kids to participate in that. And that's just fun stuff that happens at our Ohana Festival at the completion of the race.
Just to, as the saying goes, rub elbows with people like Paige.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or have her come out with your...
Yeah. Well, Paige, I'll ask you something. You get to go on all of these really high, sort of big sporting events, the big races that have a lot of the corporate feel to it. And I think Paddling Mua is known for a race that is sort of a little bit different because there's a mix of community and families that come together at the end of the race. And I think people do this race because of the cause relation to it, more than just, say, the slick sponsorships and things that are involved in it. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, for sure. I think the difference between Paddling Mua and all of the other stand-up races on Maui are that it's a fundraiser and it's for a good cause, and that brings people to want to be a part of it, and it really brings the community together. The race itself and then the after party and the Ohana Festival, it's really fun. So it's something that has a way different feel than a more competitive race. This is more for fun and for a good cause, and people aren't taking themselves so seriously. So yeah, it's a good event. Come down. You can find out more info on paddlymua.com. And May 6th, Saturday.
I've got to believe, though, that at some point during the race, that kicks in for people like you.
Oh, well, for myself, stand-up paddling, I do it personally for fun. I'm not a huge racer. Like I said, I might be doing a downwinder on a hydrofoil for my first time. Who knows? But yeah, it's definitely for the competitors. They want to win, definitely, and especially with the prize purses and the prize packages, from all the sponsors. Like, people want to win for sure.
Right. I think one time we said that was like getting the at the Emmy Awards or something, the prize packages.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, for some people, and we want people to know that water athletes from all over that come in and enjoy Maui's ocean participate in this race, but a lot of amateur paddlers and water enthusiasts come in and do the race too. There's over 250 people on the water the day of the race, and so it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And we're just getting started. We've got to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our agency directors and I guess I should throw nonprofit agency directors in there about what's happening. In this second half of the show, we're talking with Dean Wong, who's the executive director of Imua Family Services, and we've got the famed surfer Paige Alms here with us.
Yeah.
Who's talking? It might be worth just going to watch the race if she's going to get out there on a hydrofoil.
Absolutely, and there are people that watch it. They go up to the viewing vantage point at Ho'okipa, and they can watch the racers, as they whiz on by. It's very fast, from the time the start goes off at Maliko at 1 o'clock, it's only 45 minutes to an hour before people are crossing that 10.5-mile finish line at Hawaiian Canoe Club. So it doesn't take all day.
And hopefully they've got the water to help them.
Yeah, the wind.
The wind.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Hopefully the wind is behind them, and that's why we call it a downwinder. Yeah,
I got you. Okay,
absolutely.
that's why you want the wind behind your back.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And not the waves coming in over your shoulders.
The waves are fun, but the wind is helpful.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So when we talk about families coming out for this now, the typical water family is probably doing all different kinds of things, depending on how old they are.
You mean families participating in the race? Yeah, we have had entire families that come down because I think, if you're a water family, as you call them, then it's things that people do together. And we've had young children who are great paddlers come up and do the race, and we've had rather novice families who were visiting the island and come and participate and do the race. So yeah, it's and there's a lot of safety infrastructure that's involved in obviously doing this kind of race. It's very exciting. When you leave Maliko Gulch, you've got the jet skis out on the water, you've got helicopters flying overhead, you've got all the drone cameras zipping around.
Whoa, it's like big time racing.
It is big time racing, yeah. And so there's a lot to protect everybody together, and and it is a fun race. So people and paddlers in the ocean community do tend to look out for each other as well out on the water. So everyone's looking out. Yeah,
that's great. So now you say roughly 2 hours.
Yeah, there's roughly about 2 hours where people are fully out on the water.
But you definitely have some who come in much later.
Someone's got to end the race,
right.
Absolutely.
Does anybody come in just before dark?
No, we're good by then. Usually by 3, most people are back on at the Hawaiian Canoe Club, which is the finish line. And I should say that at Hawaiian Canoe Club, which is our finish line, we have an entire Ohana festival that is going on. So it's actually our campers from Camp Imua, the children who go to Camp Imua, that are there on the beach to greet the paddlers as they come off the water with a lei. And so that's the first person you see after that 10-mile plus race coming in. You see our camper children there with a lei to greet you and help you cross that finish line. And then there's a whole day of activities. So, I wanted to emphasize that this is Blue Smiths Paddle Imua. Blue Smiths Watercrafters is our title sponsor. And so they're there sharing in their goods and their wares and their amazing watercraft products. And And then we also have everything going on there from Maui Brewing Company, which supplies our beer garden. We have food from Aloha Mixed Plate. We have hula from Old Lahaina Luau and SIC. All of our sponsors come together, Maui Gym Sunglasses, and there's tents, there's prizes, there's activities, there's a children's keiki zone. So, the ohana come out from our camp families, and then the ohana that meet the paddlers and come on that side of it. So, by the time we're done, there's 500 people at Hawaiian Canoe Club just sharing in a really good time. And we go till about 6 o'clock there before the after parties.
The after parties.
Yeah, there's always after parties.
There's got to be. 6 o'clock is too early to end it.
That's right.
And it starts at 1 o'clock, so it's not like it's an early morning thing.
No, well, registration will open up at Maliko Gulch around 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So because people got to come down with their trucks and unload their vessels and boards and all that sort of stuff, and then there's a shifting of vehicles and things that go on, and getting ready to do a big event like that, people are warming up and meeting their peers and talking to each other. It's a great social time. And then there's a blessing from our kumu, and then you got to go over the rules and regulations of the race before everyone gets on the water. And so there's it is a full day. Absolutely, it's a full day, but it's a very exciting day.
The highlights that you have on your website show a lot of what you're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
Having looked at that and listening now to you, I'm going, that's what that was. Okay.
There's some great footage from Bluesmiths Paddle-i-Mua on the paddleimua.com website, as well as the you can look up Paddle-i-Mua event page on Facebook and look at the videos as well, and Paige's videos there. The link is there to her as well. And lots of the different water athletes talking about Paddle-i-Mua and their experience with it. So it's very exciting.
So I think it was during the break we were talking about this is the season for you to be out competing. Is that right?
Well,
or not so much. Are you done?
For me, as far as big wave surfing, it's kind of winding down.
Okay.
I kind of focus on the winter here and being home on Maui and traveling during the summer.
Oh, okay.
But for the sport of downwind racing and stand-up paddling, it's kind of the beginning. And this summer has a lot of amazing races starting on Maui and the Molokai to Oahu, and this is a great warm-up and fun event for the whole community of stand-up paddling. So it'll be an awesome event.
So is it hard changing back and forth between the various boards and equipment?
I'd say so. For some, I don't know. I feel like I personally like to be on all sorts of different equipment and riding different sort of waves, and it's kind of a natural transition going from a big wave gun to a short board that you're on every day and getting out in the water on a stand-up. That's probably what I'm on the least, but in the summertime I spend a lot of time doing it, and it's just really fun, and that's basically what it's all about, just getting on the water and having a good time.
Just as an observer, because I have not been on any boards of any kind, it seems like paddle boarding is the least difficult. Not true.
Everyone has their opinion about that, I guess.
Okay.
I think if you're on flat, calm water with no wind and a very big stand-up paddleboard that's really stable, it's definitely one of the easiest sports. And my mom gets out there, and I know quite a few grandmas that get out on the water stand-up paddling and go and watch the whales. And as far as that goes, if you're getting into the waves, then it gets a little challenging, but just flat water paddling is really fun for sure.
And of course, that's what they show in a lot of the commercials for things for paddleboarding.
Sure. I think what stand-up paddling has done is has made the ocean accessible to a lot of people at different levels of ability, and I think in that sense it's been very, very good. But then, of course, like anything, like you can ride a skateboard down your neighborhood street versus getting into a skate park and trying to do the ramps. There's a huge difference to that, right? So I think that's where it goes as well. It's also a sport that has many endurance athletes involved in it who've really taken to it and have really, taken it to its limits. And so, yeah, definitely.
So what are you looking forward to with the hydrofoil? What kind of a sensation is that going to give you versus just being on a board?
I'm not sure. I've never tried
You never
it.
tried it. Okay, good point.
What my friends have said about it, it's basically the closest you can get to flying.
Yeah, because you're elevated
really?
above
Yeah.
the water surface, which is
you're
really cool.
riding a board, like a surfboard or stand-up paddleboard, but ultimately the foil brings you out of the water. So to me, it looks like flying, and that's what they describe it to be like. And it's a way to ride waves that aren't necessarily breaking, which is a huge thing, especially with stand-up paddling and doing downwinders. You could literally ride a wave from Maliko to the harbor if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, there's like a channel that you kind of go along when you're coming from Maliko to into town. How far away from land are you?
It's different at different vantage points, because if you want to stay on the outside of the break, because I understand it, and Paige again can tell you more about that. But I guess the shoreline varies.
Right.
So you're different. At some points you're actually quite close, and at other points you're way on the outside.
Really?
On the break. You've done that run a few times, yeah.
Oh yeah, for
more
sure.
than a few times.
It's good to be attached to your board, and on a windy day, I've had a lot of friends lose their boards and they're way out to sea. So that's the good thing about this race, is there's a lot of safety crew. And I actually had one of my friends text me this morning and was like, "Hey, are you going to do the race? I've never done a downwinder, but I'm signed up for Paddle Mua." And I'm like, "That's awesome,
Yeah.
like come and support a good cause and have a good time and get out on the water. And what better day to have everyone and all of your friends surrounding you."
Sure.
Right.
And I should talk a little bit about the fundraising component of Paddle Mua, because obviously, people, like she just said, you register, you go to paddlemua.com and you can register to get on the race. And when you go to register, it'll immediately, it's sort of the registration is a minimum donation amount of $55. Some people sign up and pay more at their time, and other people sign up to become a fundraiser, and then they can share through Facebook and Twitter and Instagram that they're fundraising for Campi Mua by doing Paddle Mua, and then other people can sponsor those racers at the event as well. So they have the ability to go out there and either just pay the straight registration or become an added fundraiser for the event, and they might have support from friends and families, and they might raise $200 or $300 or more, and then we have different prize incentives along the way for what people do for that. And of course, all of that money goes to support Camp Imua, which is going on now for its 41st year here on Maui, which is really incredible. And we owe a lot to Bluesmiths Paddle Imua, because it has really, the success of this race and the acknowledgement that this race has given has actually created a huge amount of independence for Camp Imua as a program. And just as an example, this is the first year we are no longer applying to Maui United Way for funding for Camp Imua.
Wow.
And that is largely due to the success of this event and the athletes and people on the water who have supported Camp Imua by participating in Paddle Imua, and our sponsors like John Smalley at Bluesmiths, because of their continued support, because of their belief in this event, and because of how this event has just taken off and has grown, we've created independence for this program, which is very, very exciting for us.
That's great.
Yeah.
In 6 short years.
Yes, exactly.
Boy, that's an achievement in itself.
I think so, because as nonprofit directors, we say this a lot, but it's just really true. We're not, when we're out there fundraising, and whether it's asking the county to help support us with funds, or Maui United Way, or the community, or our corporate sponsors, we are really looking to bring independence to our programs. It's not that we want to continue to, ask for money to support these things, but things do cost money to run these programs that help so many individuals, and then as the need grows, so does the cost for those programmings grow as well. So when you find something that is successful in supporting a program, it's important to continue to support that and help it grow for the community as well.
That's terrific. Yeah, and that's right on. I mean, because this is one way where the community pitches in, they have a great time, they pay a little bit of money, and it all adds up and does wonderful things for the programs.
Absolutely. And again, I want to just reemphasize that what I think is very special about this particular race is that the people who are participating in the race really do have the opportunity to meet directly the families and the children that they're supporting in going to Camp Imua. We start sort of launching the excitement of this race with a pre-event that, what do we call this event again? We changed the name.
Keiki-o-Kekai.
Keiki-o-Kekai, that's correct. And at that event, it's a private event, but we really do just invite the camper children and their families down to the harbor, and we invite lots of the water athletes that are available on the island at that time, and they just spend a day in the water together, playing with each other, taking them out on paddle boards, taking them out in canoes, taking them out on the and that really helps to build that relationship and the excitement of, here's when I paddle in Paddle Mua, this is what I'm supporting, these are the children I'm going to get out there. And for a lot of those keiki, it's the first time they get on the water,
right?
And to do it with someone like Paige, I mean, how exciting is that? And Andrea Moeller and Sunny Henschel, and
so that kind of explains, as I was looking at that film clip again. There's almost a recognition factor amongst the kids when certain paddlers come on shore.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they know them.
Yeah.
Well, they've had a chance maybe to meet them before.
Absolutely, yeah. And they know them just the way all children on Maui know our big wave surfers and our athletes like Paige. I mean, these are our Maui celebrities, right? Paige is our Maui celebrity, and and the people that surf, they are role models for our community and for young children that are wanting to do what they want to do.
So where are you off to for your first run of the season when it starts?
I'm going to California this weekend for the XXL Awards. That's not necessarily for a surf trip, but that's going to be on Saturday, and that's where we crown and award everyone for the whole year, and the biggest waves ridden, the biggest paddle waves ridden, female performance, male performance. So,
and haven't you gotten this like 4 years?
I've been nominated for it
years?
for 6 years now.
6 years.
And I won it once 2 years ago, and just going there for that and for this event to see all my friends, and then hopefully end up on a big wave trip after that.
Gotcha. Cool. That's great. You've made the rounds. Is there any race you've not been in that you want to get into?
A race or a big wave event?
A big wave event.
We're working on that with WSL and hopefully allowing the women to be a part of all of these events. Jaws is for sure the premier event. It's here at home. It's the best big wave in the world. So hoping that happens again.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
This is an exciting event. You've got all the people. You've got all the pieces for a great event.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And if you want to just watch the videos and check it out and get a feel for it, again, go to paddlemua.com or go to muafamilyservices.org and click on the Paddle Mua event, or go on Facebook and look up Paddle Mua, the event, and you watch all the videos, watch all the action, follow it on Instagram, follow it on Twitter, get involved, become a fundraiser, or support someone who's doing the race. It's a great way to support Campi Mua, which is in its 41st year. And again, Campi Mua supports children with special needs attending a 1 week long overnight recreational camp. And there's nothing like it in the world. Campi Mua is one of a kind.
And Paddle Mua is on Saturday,
May 6th, coming up.
Boy, everything is May 6th.
I know, right?
Woo! You guys are competing.
Well, you're either a runner or you're a paddler or you're whatever you're doing. Yeah, so it doesn't really.
Yeah, but it's the season for all those outdoor events.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much, Paige. Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Best to you as you continue on, and I'm looking for a report on the hydrofoil.
Oh, yeah.
So be sure and let me know what's...
I'll send you a video clip.
There you go. Okay. Sounds like a deal. Thank you so much, Dean.
Thank you
for joining us. And again, that's Saturday, May 6th, Paddle Mua, starting out at Malika Gulch and ending at the Hawaiian Canoe Club.
Absolutely.
Very good. Thank you. Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Today we visited with the Maui Farm and with Imua Family Services and talked about running and water sports. Check them out. Find out more information on their websites. We want to thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week right here on Wednesday at noon on KAOI Radio, 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, 96.5 FM on the west side, and upcountry on 98.7. We'll be featuring representatives of 2 other member agencies at that time. Until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. We want to thank you for joining us. Have a great week, everyone. Get out there and enjoy the wonderful weather of Maui. Aloha.